Hey guys, what is up? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Liz and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a little dance Q&A about being a freelance professional dancer in New York City. I'm sorry I look disgusting, but I just thought I was in the mood to record this, so this is what's going on. I wrote stuff down, so I have something to reference, and yeah. So I'm going to start off about talking about a little bit of my training in college and basically graduating and moving to New York, like that kind of time span. So if you don't know, I went to East Carolina University. I was a dance performance major. I got a BFA in dance performance and choreography when I graduated in May of 2018. After that, I had shoulder surgery on my right shoulder. It's really, both my shoulders have been like really loose, and so I basically got it tightened since I wanted to keep dancing. So yes, so that was really hard after graduating. I got surgery like literally 4 days after I graduated because I knew I wanted to move to New York and dance, so I wanted to get it done as fast as possible or as soon as possible after graduating. So that summer post graduation was really tough because I had surgery and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't lift my arm. I mean, it was a lot harder of a recovery than I thought, like way harder than I thought. I was in a sling for 6 weeks and like my mom had to help me shower, like it was bad. And then I couldn't work out, I couldn't run, I couldn't do anything. The only thing I could do was walk, because if I even when I was out of my sling, if I were to run, like that my doctors thought it would be pulling on my shoulder, like loosening it, and that's like not what we wanted. So I couldn't run, I couldn't do anything. It was hard because my body went to shit, honestly. Coming back from that was really hard. I wasn't fully healed when I even moved to New York. I moved to New York at the very beginning of September, and yeah, it was different. When I went to college freshman year, I was really homesick, and I don't know if this happens to, I know it happens to a lot of people, but for me, I was very, very homesick. I thought I hated it. I thought I hated the school. Like I was so close to leaving after my first semester, but then things started to get a little bit better and I was like, okay, like I'll stay, whatever. Long story short, I thought when I was moving to New York, I would kind of be like the same like homesick feeling kind of, that I had, like not as much, but like I thought I might have kind of the same homesick feeling that I had going to college. And it was just completely different because moving to a new state right out of college is weird because you move, you don't really know anyone, and my roommate Kayla, I've lived with her in school and she's one of my best friends in the whole world, so that was nice having her, but she works a normal 9-to-5 job, and being a freelance dancer, I had a lot of free time. I was babysitting. I was lucky enough to get a babysitting job as soon as I moved here, so I was doing that during the week, but I wasn't cleared to be fully dancing when I moved here, so I wasn't really taking a lot of class, and it was really hard when I first moved, especially not knowing anyone in the dance community. I would go, even if I would go take a class, like no one knew who I was, no one would talk to me, like it was really hard, and I wasn't even in great dance shape because I was coming off of shoulder surgery. So honestly, finding the motivation to like get up and go to like class, because I live in Hoboken, I don't live in New York City, was really hard, because like when you don't have a class schedule, and you don't have to go to a dance class every single day, like you can kind of just do whatever you want, and I didn't realize how hard it would be for me. I've always had someone pushing me, whether that was my parents or my dance teachers or my teachers in school, so that was really different. I realized quickly though that I needed to take better care of myself when I couldn't just eat and drink and live the way that I was living in college, because I realized, so I was lucky enough to have to be in a show when I as soon as I moved here, I started rehearsing for it. It was with, oh, I'm actually wearing this shirt right now, Loose Cannon Dance. So Cannon Sapp is someone who I went to school with. She's 2 years older than me, so she has her own contemporary company in the city. It's called Loose Cannon Dance, and they were doing a show. She asked me to be a part of it, and so I had that coming into the city, but again, I was still not in the best shape because of my shoulder. So I wasn't taking a lot of class because I was trying to save my shoulder for her rehearsals and everything. And I quickly realized from her rehearsals and taking class how important it was for me to take care of my body. And honestly, when I moved here, I was super lonely and everything. And when I get lonely, I eat. And I want to just like lay in my bed, or if I get kind of like in a new environment, I don't really know how to feel. I don't really want to, I don't know, it's weird. I don't like my body, I'm not like super, I don't love change that much, so it was hard for me to adjust. So I would be like, oh, for dinner I'm gonna eat mac and cheese and ice cream, like who cares, whatever, like I'm sad, I'm lonely. But I quickly realized in the dance world, it's completely different from college. No matter how hard or competitive your college is, being a professional dancer living out of college is 10 times harder. You really have to take care of yourself because everyone, especially in New York, is so talented and amazing that if you want any shot of competing for jobs with any of them, you need to be in the best physical shape that you can. That means feeding your body, getting sleep, drinking water, taking your vitamins, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I learned that because of my injury. And when I first moved here, I was sick a lot. I got like a bad stomach bug. I got multiple colds. I was like at like the little urgent care here a lot, and part of it was because I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was staying up watching Netflix. I wasn't feeding my body right. Like just I wasn't exercising as much. Like just a lot of different things. So that's really hard. And just because you know people before you come into like the actual professional like world and you know them in a certain way doesn't mean that they are going to act the same way towards you when you are out on your own as an adult. I learned that lesson from someone, I'm not gonna like name any names or anything, but I knew this person fairly well, and this person is super well known in the dance world, and you know everyone loves them and it's so great. And I was feeling really lost at the beginning and asked, you know, hey, like I really need some advice, you know, I just don't feel like myself. You've known me for a really long time. Can we meet and, you know, get coffee, and I just need advice. And they basically blew me off multiple times and said they didn't have time for me and all this stuff. And so I honestly expected this person to really help me, and it just like the way that they had helped me throughout, you know, my dance career, and that just wasn't the case anymore. So I mean, I was kind of shook by that. People are, I guess, very different in real life than they are when they're like teaching and like getting paid to help you. So I just like want to put that out there, and I just feel like if you are going to move here, you have to have a thick skin, and through dance you're going to get rejected a lot, so you just need to have really thick skin and know your worth, which is something that I now know, which I think is really important. Also, I wanted to talk about getting booked for like dance. I'm sorry if this video is kind of like all over the place. I like have notes, but I'm kind of like jumping around things. I wanted to talk about dance jobs because now my shoulder is completely healed. I'm taking a lot of dance class. I'm, you know, eating healthy and exercising and just all that kind of stuff. So I ended up getting a second dance job with a company. It's called Cloudy NYC. It's Emily Greenwell's company. If you don't know who Emily Greenwell is, you should definitely look her up. She's amazing. I took a class from her at the end of college, and I was obsessed with her, and so I knew moving to New York I wanted to work with her in some capacity. I don't, you know, in any sort of way. So I started taking her class. She taught at Broadway Dance Center and Perry Dance Capizio Center every single week, and I started taking those classes every single week. I would always make sure to go up to her at the end and say thank you. And you know, for the first time I took her class again, I kind of reminded her who I was. I messaged her on Instagram when I first moved and was like, hey, I'm in the city now. I, you know, took class from you at ECU and just wanted to like let you know I'll be like in your class a lot. And she's just been so nice and, you know, has a very warm personality. So I started taking her class literally every single week. I think maybe like 8 or 9 months in, after her like kind of seeing the way I dance, seeing my potential, you know, knowing my consistency, she asked me to be an apprentice, excuse me, an apprentice for her company. And that was so exciting to get, you know, a job like this completely on my own and with no help, and just because I was consistent in going to her class. So the number one thing I would say if you want to book a dance job or be in a company is to, if they're ever having open class, go and make sure you talk to the person at the end who gives the class and just say thank you, and, you know, my name's Elizabeth, like, I love your class, I'll be in here a lot, you know, whatever. And make sure that they know who you are, because that's how a lot of freelance artists end up booking jobs. You know, some of them audition, you know, for contemporary or bigger companies, but a lot of the other ones, smaller ones, pick their people through who's taking their class every week. So you really have to push yourself to get into class. I know so many people who, you know, for whatever reason, they moved here to dance and that's just like not, they ended up not dancing and they've taken a different career path, whether that's because, oh, they got here, they started working a job to, you know, live in the city, and now they loved it and decided to go that way instead of dance, or, you know, or maybe they just, I don't know, just didn't have the drive to do it, to go and get their butt into class, then, and that's why they aren't dancing anymore. It just, if you want to dance, then you have to find the motivation to get up in the morning, to go to ballet class, to go to the gym, to eat healthy. You have, I mean, this is, you know, your job is to take care of yourself and to get yourself into class. So I realized soon into moving that I was taking a lot of class at Perry Dance Capizio Center. And the classes, each class is $21, which is very expensive. And if you take 3 classes a week, I mean 3 to 4 to 5, like, it gets really expensive. So one way that I keep down on costs like that is I have a work study there. So basically I work at the front desk, I check people in for class, and in turn, every hour and a half I work, I get a discounted little slip, and it's $7 a class instead of $21. So that in itself is huge. I really suggest wherever you take a lot of class to get a work study. Mine's once a week, and it's a super easy job, and I get discounted class, and I save so much money. So really, really, really recommend that. I also want to touch on being uncomfortable in class, because you are going to be surrounded by so many amazing people, but it's really important, even if you feel uncomfortable going into a class, like, oh, I want to take this person, but I've never taken them and I don't know anyone that's going to this class, like, you just need to go and get in the class and see if you like it. You can't rely, like, if you were planning to go to a certain class with your friend but they backed out, you still should go, because if you're just comfortable, you're never going to grow. And I can't say that enough for dancing, because if you don't go and take class, you're never going to meet anyone, and basically freelance dancers get jobs from knowing people. So that's kind of just how it is. You really just need to ask yourself before you move if this is worth it, because it's really hard. You're going to be working other jobs to pay for your dance training. Yeah, I hope this video wasn't too like all over the place. I hope it was helpful. If you guys have any questions, please you know, comment or DM me on Instagram. It's always linked down below. And yeah, so let me know what you guys want to see next. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Bye guys.